Okay, we're ready to get started if everyone's ready. Thank you for your patience. Just one moment. Okay, we ready, Mike? Okay, good evening. It's 6:40 p.m. on Monday, July 27, 2026. I'd like to call to order the Village of Brookfield Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mike. Can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ketchmark.
Here.
Trustee Whitehead.
Here.
Trustee Hendricks.
Here.
Trustee Narimatsu.
Here.
Trustee Gilhooley. Not here. Trustee Kaluzny.
Here.
President Garvey.
Here. Thank you, Mike. Before we move on with the rest of the agenda under appointments and presentations, I'd just like to take a moment. The Village of Brookfield lost an incredible public servant, and many of us lost a friend recently. Former village trustee Brian Oberhauser unfortunately passed away. He's also very involved in other commissions, including the Parks and Recreation Commission. Very sad, and as I said, just way too young. Many of us are still trying to deal with it. You know, we send our condolences to his family. We've been in touch with his family. There is a small visitation service tomorrow morning that we found out about, and we'll take, as many of us can are going to try and make it there. But I would ask if everyone could just join me in a brief moment of silence in memory of Brian. Thank you. And there'll be some type of, Brian meant a lot to the village in so many ways, and we're going to find a appropriate way to recognize him in a more permanent way. So, and again, my condolences to his family. And I also asking people to send out good thoughts and prayers. There's a situation, if you haven't heard, going on in Downers Grove where there's some workers stuck. I don't know if there's any update, but there was a sewer incident where they were trapped in a sewer with the rains, and there's some emergency response going on in Downers Grove. So please keep those workers and the rescue workers in your thoughts and prayers also. So, and hopefully we get some good news out of there. So the first, and I know some trustees might want to say something. I know specifically Trustee Whitehead wants to say something during his report on recreation. If anyone wants to say anything additional about Brian at that time, that would be fine. But, you know, the first item we would like to take a moment to recognize one of the partners that we have in the Village of Brookfield. And we have many contractual relationships. We have many partners, and we are grateful for all of them, but sometimes people go above and beyond their contractual relationship and the contractual partnership. And tonight we just wanted to take a moment to recognize KPGS Consulting for the contributions that extended way beyond the scope of their contractual services, and has truly had a meaningful impact on the success of the village's economic development initiatives, particularly the Brookfield shops, but even beyond that. In addition to their contracted responsibilities, they provided valuable guidance and support in several areas, including assisting with the development of the shops program from its inception, and they came with expertise from, you know, doing it in other towns, and has really made the shop something that we're extremely proud of. They helped evaluate and select participating businesses. They provided recommendations that supported the growth enhancement of the program. They assisted staff with infrastructure-related planning, including pavers, signage, decking, threshold solar lighting, and grant coordination. They've served as a collaborative resource, providing guidance and solutions as new opportunities and challenges arose. You know, we plan these things, but new challenges always come up, and their experience and their dedication really paid off in those moments. They've helped us with the existing, expanding, and refining the program through the development of participation levels and ongoing programming concepts. And they've helped us identify opportunities to enhance the visitor and business experience. Tonight we wanted to take a moment to recognize them, to acknowledge these voluntary contributions beyond their contractual obligations, and say thank you. So on behalf of myself, the village board, village staff, we just want a very big thank you. Give a round of applause. Kendra and Patrick are here. If we have a little, you want to give you? Just presented to KPGS Consulting for Kendra and Patrick in grateful recognition of your leadership, dedication, and invaluable guidance in the success of the Brookfield Shops and the Creative Placemaking Grant. So thank you. Just you guys are really close, and maybe someone take a picture with Libby and Pete. You guys have all spent so much time together, you probably not a good picture. It's still long enough to get a picture. It's up to you guys.
We're like,
So much.
no, we're behind every little league group.
Okay, at this point in the meeting, I will open it up to public comment. Is there any public comment on this side of the audience, my right side? If you could just come up to the microphone, just state your name, please.
My name's Larry Colello, and I'm here to speak about the conditions and maintenance of Brookfield gravel and unpaved alleys. Brookfield has approximately 33 miles of unpaved alleys, and these alleys are a major part of homeowners' daily lives. Many residents use them multiple times every day to enter and exit their garages, park their vehicles, take out their garbage, and recycle, and access the rear of their property. For many homeowners, the alley is not optional. It is a primary access point to their property. These alleys are not simply a cosmetic issue. They are important and part of Brookfield's infrastructure, and many of them have serious and structural drainage problems. I've lived here for approximately 20 years. The alleys are usually graded a few times per year, and additional gravel is occasionally spread over the surface. However, grading alone does not properly repair potholes, correct drainage problems, or rebuild an alley that no longer has a stable foundation. When my alley is graded, it may look better temporarily, but if it rains a week later, the standing water returns, water collects in the same low spots. Some neighbors' yards flood, and residents may experience water entering their basements. Dust is another serious problem. Residents have to regularly sweep excessive amounts of dust out of their garages every week. There are 3 heavy trucks that travel through the alleys weekly. One's a garbage truck, one's a recycle truck, one's a yard waste truck. These trucks place additional stress on an already inaccurate surface. The village reportedly spends $15,000 a year on gravel for about 33 miles of alleys. That equals $455 per mile. Spread among the households affected by these alleys, it amounts to $1 to $2 per household annually. That level of funding cannot possibly provide enough material, proper grading, pothole repair, drainage improvement, and long-term maintenance for 33 miles of alleys. I'm asking the village to conduct and complete an assessment of the Brookfield unpaved alleys, including their foundations, drainage, grading needs, and the amount and type of stone being used.
Thank you very much for your thoughtful comments. It's something we've talked about. We're going to talk about it later tonight if you want to stick around a little bit, but your points are well taken.
All you gotta do is drive through the village tonight and see, the alleys are all flooded. And they're gonna be that way for the next 3 days.
I understand. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. Anyone else on this side? Anybody on this side have any public comment? Okay, hearing no public comment, at this point, we'll move on to reports of special committees. Trustee Narimatsu, please.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve corporate warrants dated July 27th, 2026, in the amount of $1,876,205.89.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Narimatsu, second by trustee Gilhooley. Any highlights?
We have about $650,000 in water infrastructure projects, 35-ish thousand for Des Plaines River Trail and Energize Ogden, and about $42,000 for Maple Park South installation, and then final design services for both Creekside and Ellert Park. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board members as to the warrant? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Narimatsu.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I don't have a report for Public Works other than to just continue to thank them for all their hard work and staying, dealing with all these storms. It seems to be coming in hot and heavy this summer, and helping out with all the events of the summer, including the bike race, which it went off really well. So thank you to them, and as always, if you need anything taken care of, please see the C-Click Fix on the village website. Thanks, that ends my report.
Yes, thank you. And I'd like to extend my thanks. I mean, all the departments have been involved in a lot of things. Public Works, this stretch of Public Works, you know, just thinking back, the last weekend of the month was Music on Grand. We went right into the 4th of July. There was a few storms, set up for the bike race, the concerts in the park, more storms, and then the Music on Grand again. So they've been working very hard, and long days and long nights, and throwing a few water main breaks. So a big thank you to those, to the crews. So. Anything else, trustee Narimatsu?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. Trustee Gilhooley is not here this evening. Trustee Hendricks?
The Planning and Zoning Commission did not meet this month. Their next meeting is the 27th of August, and they will be reviewing the new draft of the zoning update, which hopefully after that point will come to this board. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Trustee Ketchmark, Administration, Economic Development?
The Economic Development Commission met last Wednesday with continued discussion on updates to the Economic Development Plan, which I believe will be coming to this board during the fall. The commission was also updated on the various TIF districts and how they operate. I would like to share a few comments on Brian Oberhauser. Brian began serving our community in, I believe it was 2005, as a member of Conservation and then the Beautification Commissions. In 2009, he was elected to his first term as trustee. We served together as fellow trustees for 2 years before I became village president, and Brian was reelected at that time as trustee. And then we served together for 4 years more. He took his role as village trustee quite seriously and was very proud to serve. He advocated for many, many things, and on all different levels. Some of them were affordable water rates, opposing red light cameras, opposing the crazy Cook County idea of having snipers shoot deers in our park. He brought thoughtfulness to the table and humor. There was a bit of sarcasm in some of his comments, and if you didn't know him, you may not be sure what to think of that. If you got into a debate with Brian, you might find you didn't agree with everything he said. And you may also find that he didn't agree with everything you said. As spirited as that the debate might become, at the end of the day, he was ready to move on to the next topic, whatever it may be. Backyard chickens, anyone? And while he was proud to serve this village, he was also very proud to wear the purple and white hat of Northwestern. After Brian's second term, he wrote a letter to the Landmark newspaper. As I end my second term as trustee on the village board, I want to thank the community for twice granting me this special privilege, helping to guide our town as we plan for the future and keeping an eye on the day-to-day work of the village has been one of the most important and gratifying experiences in my life. Brian went on to serve 5 more years on the Parks and Recreation Commission, most recently serving as chairperson. Brian, thank you for your nearly 20 years of service, commitment, and devotion to our village. Thank you.
Very well said. Thank you. Trustee Whitehead?
The Parks and Rec Commission last met on Tuesday, July 21st. And to add to Trustee Ketchmark's comments, the members of the commission reflected on the passing of the longtime chair, Brian Oberhauser, who managed so many meetings with joy and an astute attention to detail for years. The Parks and Rec Commission was my introduction to the village when I first started getting involved in 2020. And Brian welcomed me right away and taught me so much, not just about Parks and Rec, but about the village operates, because as Trustee Ketchmark mentioned, his involvement long predated me getting involved. I know one of the things he was very proud of early on was the new zip line going in at Candy Cane Park. There was a group of students who had been coming to Parks and Rec Commission meetings urging the village to put in a zip line, and Brian was very proud that we were able to accommodate that request. He also was very fond of giving detailed reports of the various musical acts that performed throughout the village. He had a front row seat to all of those performances and would share his opinions, both good and bad. And just had a clear passion for public service and for supporting this great town. So I thank Brian for what he taught me and for all of his service to the village over many years. All of us on the commission will miss Brian. The commission debriefed the 4th of July parade and the America 250 celebration and several other summer events. Members are excited to continue to work with village staff to grow and strengthen these events next year and beyond. As President Garvey just referenced, we had another great Music on Grand Saturday evening, headlined by the Tom Petty cover band Free Falling. We had large crowds throughout the day as we've been featuring local acts, which is a new addition this summer, and I know that's been a great addition for these bands and for their fans and the community to give these acts a new opportunity. Thanks to all the staff and the volunteers who made this signature community event possible. I know we mentioned Public Works, but we should mention them again for their work on Saturday and throughout the summer, as well as the Parks and Rec staff who has been working overtime. I think Matt Odom right now is on a well-deserved vacation after working most of the day Saturday on Music on Grand. So thank you to Matt and his team in the Parks and Rec department. Some department updates. Ellert Park Field 1 Phase 2 construction concluded last month. This began last month, I should say. This will feature a new storage unit and a new press box at the large baseball field in the center of Ellert Park. The Maple South Park grading and earthwork plan was approved at our last meeting, so that work is moving forward. The final step before the opening of Maple South Park will be installing sod, which will happen in September once the summer heat subsides. The last day of summer camp is approaching, believe it or not, Friday, August 7th, next week. It has been a fantastic summer, thanks to all the full-time staff and the counselors who've made it possible for my kids and so many kids across the community to enjoy a great summer with their friends at all of our parks and facilities throughout the village. Report from the Parks and Rec Foundation. Of course, duck sales continue at the farmers market and other community events. Ducks are $5 each, and you can win up to $1,000 if your duck wins the race in September. If you buy 10 ducks for $50, you will get a free golden duck that can add to your prize money. So if that golden duck wins, you get $100 on top of your original prize. All proceeds from the duck race and all the foundation's activities benefit local families in need who are looking to enroll in parks programming. Depending on their income level, families are eligible for discounts of up to 50% on program registration fees. Because of the success of the duck race and some of our other fundraising events, we've been able to build a substantial budget, and we are looking to reach more families who could benefit from these scholarships. So if you or someone you know you think may be able to benefit from a Parks and Rec scholarship, a discounted program fee, please reach out to the Parks and Rec department, and they will help work you through the application process. The Parks and Rec Commission next meets on Tuesday, August 18th at 6:30 p.m. here at Village Hall.
Thank you, Trustee Whitehead. Trustee Kaluzny, Conservation and Beautification.
Yes, the Conservation Commission last met on June 23rd. They are still working on their plans for Meet the Creek, which will be on October 3rd. At Meet the Creek, they're also going to have a fall native plant sale. And so look forward to getting the word out as those flyers come together and we start advertising that more as we get closer to October. They also were working on their presentation for the village board that happened on July 13th when I was out of town. So I hope you all enjoyed the update on Creekside Woods and their plans and also the award they received from the National Park Service, which was really, really cool. So I'm sorry I missed that, but it sounded like it went really well. Their next meeting is actually tomorrow night at 6 p.m. here at Village Hall. The Beautification Commission last met on July 7th. We discussed the current projects and future of that commission, and that will be on our committee of the whole tonight for a further board discussion. That ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Kaluzny. The Solid Waste Agency and WCMC have not met since our last meeting. Brookfield Zoo had a very big weekend, as we did. They had 2 large concerts. I think Friday night Blues Traveler was the headline, and Saturday night they had Nelly the same night we had our music on Grand. And I guess there was a little bit of traffic backup, but again, I think things are being handled so much better. And I know they had good crowds, and we're very happy to work with them and communicate with them. And I know they'll have several more large events throughout the summer. I also wanted to pass on my thanks about the bike race in Brookfield last Wednesday. It was another tremendous success, great turnout, great crowds, and all the village departments and all the village staff that was involved. That was another that's a long, hot day, a long, hot couple of days setting up and taking down and making sure everyone's safe. So a big thank you. And there's so many volunteers, the Women's Club and all the other groups, the people that work the corners and the crossings, out in the sun. It wasn't as hot as last year, but it was still hot being out there, so a big thank you to all of them. I was the recipient of many compliments about village staff and just the village of Brookfield in general and the accommodations that were made for the Brookfield, or the Chicago Grit Group, as well as just the cyclists in general, and just walking up and down and talking to people how much they like Brookfield. And we will talk about what happens in the future with the race, as we always do. They are still finishing their tour through the suburbs. We were the middle of the 12, I think, so they still have a couple days left, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a great night. I wanted to pass along a special thank you to Chris Valdez, who, it's hard to believe, but he's stepping back from, organizing the race. I know he will always be involved in cycling in Brookfield, but this was kind of his last race at the helm of the thing. And as usual, he was out there nonstop all day and the days leading up to it, from everything handing out flyers door to door to riding his bike all over town throughout the day. So a big thank you to Chris, and I think we'll get a chance to thank him publicly at a meeting maybe going forward. Once again, the highlight of the night for me was, seeing the races are really cool and the close finishes in all the races, but the personal highlight was I was up on the stage to say a few words before the community bike ride. And one of the organizers on the stage, he says, well, so how many people do you got? And I said, I think we got about 400. And he looked at me and did a double take. He said, did you say 400 people? And I said, yes. I said, look, coming down Grand Boulevard, they staged at the library, and they all started, 400 people on cue started riding down. In a lot of the other towns, he said they have 30, 40 people in the community bike ride. In the village of Brookfield, had 400 people in the community bike ride. So, as usual, Brookfield rocks and did a tremendous job, and they were genuinely stunned and impressed. It was our biggest community bike ride yet, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you to everybody that made that happen. We know there's some inconvenience to the residents and the businesses in that area, but it's one day, it's one event, so we'll talk about it going forward. Just 2 other things I want to recognize. At future board meetings, we'll be recognizing some teams coming forward. We've had some very successful baseball and softball seasons. Our Brookfield Boys 10U team won the district title, beating LaGrange. I think it was a couple weeks ago. They beat LaGrange. They had to win 2 games in a row to beat LaGrange, and they won the district title, which is a very big deal. So I think we'll be recognizing them. And then our Brookfield girls softball team, the 10U team, won the district title, and led by their very able manager, Mike Melendez, our village clerk, made it all the way to, they finished 3rd place in the state. And I think they lost to the eventual state champion. Was it Clarendon Hills? Won state, but they did Brookfield very proud, so congratulations to them, and we will be looking forward to honoring them at a future board meeting. So it's been a great year. And it's very promising, as me and Mike were talking before the meeting, these are the 10U, so they've got a couple years left, so you're gonna be busy for a couple years, so. So, all right, thank you, and congratulations to all of them. That ends the reports of special committees. At this point, I'd entertain a motion to pass the omnibus agenda.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Kaluzny, second by trustee Whitehead. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Narimatsu.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item, I'd entertain a motion to pass an ordinance provide for and requiring the submission of a proposition to increase the limiting rate for the village of Brookfield, Cook County, Illinois, to the voters of said village at the general election on November 3rd, 2026.
So
So,
moved.
second.
Motion was made by trustee Narimatsu, second by trustee Ketchmark. Obviously, this has been talked about over the course of months, if not year, preparation for this and submitting the question to the residents for the November 3rd ballot. There will be public education. We will put out the information about what it's about so people can make an informed choice. Going forward, we've started to state the case, but we will make sure the materials and presentations and all the questions are answered for anyone that has any questions about how they feel about the issue. Do the board members have anything they'd like to add?
I think the education process is going to be huge in this. For someone reading the question on its own, it's not really clear what it is for or what it will result in for us. The tax neutral part of this is huge. I mean, that's why we took on the whole idea of this with the bond payments being, leaving the tax rolls. This would replace it, so it would keep taxes at the same level for people. But that is so important that they understand that, because simply reading the question, it's not, should every day be sunny in Brookfield? It's not a real easy question to get a hand on. So the education process will be huge. And in light of our conversation coming up in the committee meeting, that's a huge part of it too, because that almost makes it confusing in a way. So,
I know I missed the last meeting, but I agree with the question you went with, so thank you for having that long discussion.
And we'll be talking a little bit more tonight during the committee hold. This is going to be an ongoing topic and an ongoing process. But as required, we are required to pass this to get the language on the ballot so the county clerk can prepare our ballots and know what's on there, so. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Narimatsu.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Then the last item is I'd entertain a motion to pass an extension request for property improvement program grant for Koblish Properties LLC doing business as Hop District Brewing Company.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Kaluzny, seconded by trustee Hendricks. As explained, the board has a very detailed memo. It was back in, I think it was May of 2025, where they originally, the Hop District, who's making a substantial investment in the building over there, came forward and applied for the property improvement program to make improvements to the facade. The grant agreement was executed July 15th, 2025, and due to unforeseen project delays, the original grant requirement that they completed within 12 months, they are requesting additional time. We have a very detailed memo from Scott, and staff's of the opinion that they've been diligent and are intending to finish the project, and that it's staff's recommendation that we grant an extension so they can make the desired improvements. Any questions or comments or concerns from the board? Okay, again, we have a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Narimatsu.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all the items we have on the agenda. Tim, anything in the manager's report?
Yes, thank you, President Garvey. I've got several items. First, I want to introduce Matt Havlick is our new Deputy Director of Public Works. Matt comes to us most recently from the Village of Lisle, where he was the assistant to the village manager, and from previous to that, he was in the Public Works Department in the Village of Winnetka. And Matt, every meeting is all full of compliments for Public Works. So the more meetings you come to, the more accolades you and your department are going to get. Matt started 2 weeks ago. We're happy to have him, and you will see him in the future at various meetings and events.
Welcome, Matt. We thought in your first 2 weeks, we'd give you a little bit of everything, some big events, some storms, some rains, some things, just get you exposed to everything. It's good to see that you're still here, so.
Yeah. The key is the second day. They always come to the first day, but the real key is to see if they come back for the second day. Sticking with a little bit of Public Works, in addition to all of the things that you guys have all mentioned is keeping Public Works busy, we had an eventful day today. We had 2 very severe storms come through town, the likes of which I haven't seen in a long time. It was pitch black here at noon. It was pitch black again around 5 o'clock. I believe, I think the railroad crossings are all still closed. We've had trees down. We've had flooded sewer inlets. Public Works has been out doing their due diligence to check on trees across roadways and so forth. They are cleaning it up. As we always say, I would urge the public to use See-Click Fix. If you have a reported item that needs to be remedied by the village, please just use See-Click Fix and they will get out there. But it was pretty eventful day today. I want to end on a high note on my comments. The third item is I'm happy to report that we've received a $190,000 grant from the Invest in Cook County grant program. And we've worked with Hancock Engineering as we always do, and we applied for Phase 1 and 2 engineering work for Brookfield Avenue from Maple to Prairie, which will include new roadways, curb gutters, sidewalk improvements, new street lightings to match what we've done elsewhere. And we're already lined up for funding, for STP funding for the actual construction of that. So we are hopeful and have every reason to believe we'll be getting that grant funding. And so as usual, we'll get 80% of it paid for by outside sources. The village will be paying 20% of those costs. So we just got word of that last week, so that's good news. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Tim. All right. That ends the items on the village board agenda, so at 7:12 PM, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the village board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Kaluzny, second by trustee Whitehead. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Narimatsu.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, we're adjourned at 7:12 PM. We will go into the committee of the whole meeting shortly. Thank you.